Hello, how's everyone doing today? It has been a certain amount of, it's been about a week since I've done like an official video. I did that one video from the car. I may take it down because I did not know the sound on it was so awful. For most of it was so awful. I just wanted to kind of let you guys know what was happening, and I don't know, I may take it down. Anyway, before I get too involved here, don't forget to hit thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload more videos, okay? Alright, so yeah, so what has been happening? It has a lot been happening. The week before, I'll just say, the week before the 4th of July was already a stressful week because we found out some bad news about my husband's job. Now, I've talked about this before. I don't know if I talked about it in other videos recently. My husband's job can go up and down. It's a contract type of job. He can be on something for a year, and then the powers that be will decide, oh, why did we hire all these people? Oh, we don't really have the budget for this. Boom, we're going to let everybody go. And then he's back to square one looking for a different job again. And this has been, he was on one contract for a long time, for about 10 years, and we had a lot of stability for there. But then last year there was some upheaval. And it was a couple other small assignments, and then a longer one, which he'd been consistently on, and then got the word. And luckily, he stayed on that during the time that a lot of other people who were permanent with the federal government were actually laid off, as the whole world knows that what has been happening here in D.C. So, but his job, actually, in the time that we've been together, I've been with him through. It didn't really matter which type of president was in office politically. He had layoffs whether it was a Republican or a Democrat. So it had nothing to do with, oh, because of this one, this is why this is happening. To me, in my experience with it really didn't matter who. It's just whenever they decide to say we're going to that particular organization's budget constraint, when in my mind they shouldn't be hiring people in the first place. If 6 months later they decide, oh well, turns out we don't have the budget for all this. Well, don't have either hire them and respect the contract to keep them on, or don't start something that you cannot be really committed to, and then have all these people's contractors' lives be in upheaval in the first place, okay? That's my opinion on it. But anyway, there's probably more complex things, but as a person whose life has been in all of that upheaval because of that's how it goes. That's my opinion. So we had that. I have a reoccurring health issue with my inner ear, which is a problem. It has not been a serious problem in a very, very long time, since 2016, early 2017. It resulted in me having surgery, and then I could hear somewhat better, but not great. And then over time, it got a little better. It's not an age thing. It's a thing that kind of runs in my family. My older sister has always had a problem since she was a very little girl. And I always just thought it was a her problem. I didn't know it was a we problem. My mom also had a problem similar to it in her later life, which she never told me about, but she had it through for off and on for 20 years till she passed in her 80s. So when I was in my early 50s, this developed, and I was like super embarrassed about it, because I thought that it was just like, oh my God, it's because I'm old, and this is why. Now, maybe when you're older, you're more prone to these problems, but like I said, my oldest sister had problems from the time she was a little girl on. So, but I was self-conscious, and I didn't really talk about it much. But I did make a video in here. If you go way, 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 way back in 2017, you can see me talking about it, or 2016, 2017, you can see me talking about it, being really scared. I don't know why I can't hear, da-da-da-da-da. You can go back and watch that video. I've been fairly transparent about some of this stuff, but there's some stuff that just like, it affected me energy wise and affected me in such a way that I didn't really, I wanted to come on and be in videos, be upbeat and fun, and be the person that everybody expects and wants, wants me to be, looks forward to seeing, So, and that's how I feel about when I would with my clients. I don't really like to complain a lot. I don't like to vent and to come on and just, oh, my life sucks, or this happened, or this is crappy, or whatever. I've always tried to be, pretty positive, or at least put forward a positive thing, so that I was always like not being wanting to be seen as complaining about it. But anyway, so we had that, and our dog in the last year and a half had been dealing with some aging dog issues, eating and becoming more and more needing help and more vet bills and higher higher things to take care of, higher amounts of higher maintenance and higher um, and we noticed in May that there were some more serious things, and we took her, and they did run a test, everything's fine, that everything looks okay for the most part, do a little more of this, a little more of that, okay. And then suddenly last week on the July 1st is when she just really declined all like within a 24-hour period, and we ended up having to put her down. So that was a devastating loss. And so this past week it's been sort of like getting things back, getting, kind of getting moving past the sadness, cleaning, getting, putting stuff aside, trying to move past the grief, move past the loss. We're still, our house is still not the same. We're not in a position financially. We're not going to take on another dog and another round of, new shots and new this and new this and new this and all the responsible pet ownership things that one does when one gets a new pet, whether it's a puppy or a pet adoption. We're not to that. We're not going to be in that level. He's got to get his career on straight, and I've got to get my career on straight and get things really moving. And I found some angles of which to promote my in-person business, some new angles, and I'm working on that. And then some other things that I'm planning on doing, but I always have my link tree here. If people want to donate to my Venmo or tip me in some ways, that would be really helpful. So anyway, so besides all that, I have not done, still have to do the Empties video for the end of June. So I've got my big bag of Empties here, if you all would entertain me for that. And we'll go over these things, and some of them are things I've talked about before, and some things are things that I haven't talked about in a long time, and some things are kind of new, I think. So I think that'd be fun. And product for me, it's mainly product recommendations, because especially the things I use over and over again, the reason why I keep going to them, because they're excellent, they're good performance, and look good, smell good, help your hair and body look good and feel good, and all that good stuff. And yeah, so let's talk products. Okay. Avon's Bug Guard. Okay. Avon has a whole line of Bug Guard products. I myself was never one to use sprays or lotions or things to help protect for bugs. I didn't know enough about it. I was always getting chewed up. I use a lot of fragrance. I use a lot of fragrant body lotions, body washes. The bugs are drawn to me. I get chewed up. I hate outdoors. I'm not outdoorsy. It wasn't until I started using these products, started selling Avon, people kept telling me about them. Yes, we have the Skin So Soft Body Oil, which is the famous product that those who know Avon or have used it, that scent is very helpful in keeping off mosquitoes. That's what Avon is famous for. And that whole line of the green, it's called the green line, the original scented, helps keep with the bug guard. Then they also have 3 different lines of products. One has sunscreen built in, several different sprays that also have bug guard use. And then there's this one that has it in the spray cans as well as the towelettes that I've talked about before. I even did a whole video on it. I'm actually thinking I may do another video on it just to show it again. But that has the picaridin. All of their products are DEET free. Okay, they're safer. Then there's also a creamy sunscreen that has no white cast, that also has the bug guard properties as well. Okay, so imagine if you're going to be outside in a sunny area in a park for a picnic for 3 hours, 4 hours doing a barbecue. You're having to worry about getting chewed up for mosquitoes as well as possibly getting sunburn, or at the beach, whatever. Imagine a product that could do both, sunscreen and safe for your kids, and as well as helping with bugs. So there is a lotion for that. We have that. This particular can is a spray. This is what we say you use early morning or at night. That because it doesn't have sunscreen in it, but it's an excellent spray on for when I would go out and take the dog for a walk, as well as this is the same ingredient that's in the towelettes that I keep in my purse. So if I have to go outdoors, like my in-laws have a cook, have invited us over for dinner, and they want to sit outside and it's cookout, and we are surrounded by woods. Here, I'm surrounded by woods. So it's excellent to use for mosquitoes, for other bugs, mosquitoes, deer ticks. They have vitamin E, so your skin feels soft. It's not a really heavy, there is a slight scent, but it's not one of those heavy chemical smell that you feel like you're going to need a gas mask to wear to put it on. So this I've just run out of, and I've already ordered more. I also have the can that had the green can that has the sunscreen built in as well, so I use the towelettes. It's sort of like whichever is more convenient, whichever is easier, I use them all. And it has saved my life because I would have never been able to walk the dog on a regular basis, enjoy being outdoors. My husband and I go hiking. We went for a long walk around the lakes. We do a lot of stuff, and I would never be able, because I used to sunburn, still without protection, sunburn very badly, or as well as get chewed up by mosquitoes. So all these scented things, and I'm always talking about this scent, that scent, it makes me like, if bugs think I'm a flower, you know. Okay, so speaking of which, so I would check that out. My link to it, there's a code for 10% off, welcome 10, if you want to try those products, if you're in the USA. Okay, I wish we sold to the rest of the world, but for whatever reason, if you have a friend in the USA, they can order it for you. You pay them the money, and they order from me, and then, you know, can send it out to you. That's great. But I can't have people outside order from me directly and then me ship it because the liquid issue. I've already talked about that, where somebody bought won a bubble bath, and it was at that time the bubble bath was like $78, and it cost me $35 to ship a bottle this size to England. You know, so it's crazy. But if you're in other countries, check to see if you can find Avon reps so you can order them, because you can order Avon. There are Avon divisions in other countries where you can order these products from. Okay, so Senses bath wash, frosted vanilla and honey cake. I think, yes, I have 2 of them. These right now are on sale in the clearance section, because this was a holiday. You can even see by it looks like very holiday-esque with little mistletoe. This was like one of the holiday scents. This is the bubble bath. This is what I use for cleaning. I use this for dishes. I use this for numerous things. It's excellent. It can be used as shower gel. shave gel, all that kind of stuff. It's very good for your skin, and some people use it for their cars. It's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, so 2 of those. All right, Midnight Addiction Body Wash. This was one of those scents that I got in my last, I think it was my last Bath and Body Works haul in their jewel collection. This one I thought it was one of the ones I liked the best, but ended up being that I liked the least. And I'm not sure what it was. The scents are, let's see, what do we have here? Okay. Pro vitamin. Oh, okay. Recycled plastic. Some of these say what they are, and this one does not. But I can tell you what it is it had a muskier and more woodsy scent to it than some of the other ones. And I used to like that combination, but for some reason it didn't hit the way I thought it would hit. But I used it up, and like all their body washes, they have great lather. There's a great aroma, the great lather and the great scent. You're surrounded by the scent, and for me, it's like in the morning, it helps lift me up, helps lift my spirits. So even if it's one I'm not that great of, it was still really nice. I would say like B- compared to the other things that I really, really like that are like more like an A+. It's still an enjoyable shower. It's still very relaxing. Their shower gels also can be used for bubble baths. And it was good. Well, it's good while it lasted. Okay, now Wet n Wild. I went through this. I have found for a while there. This was my main foundation for when I do my makeup. I was using this one. And then I found that the LA Colors Truly Matte was a better coverage. This one was a little more medium coverage, and I had to do a lot to build it up. And overall, it's not bad. It was good as a matte foundation, but the other one was a little fuller. And then I discovered the Juvia's Placement, which I think is, for me, when I see my skin, it's really stunning. It's a stunning balance. This one I think was kind of breaking me out a little bit because I was always starting to get like a lot of little pimples, and it was always trying to fight to keep them down. So, but if you have more normal to dry combination, it might not break you out. So it just depends. But for me, if you like more of a medium foundation, a little lighter than heavy, then this is good. But this still gives pretty good coverage compared to some of those tinted moisturizers or tinted balms or whatever that are very, very light. This one is more like medium coverage. So I'm not talking about the color. I'm talking about the coverage, because you've got light coverage, you've got medium coverage, and you've got full coverage. So in that range. So it doesn't matter what the shade is. It's just more about like if you have to add more to cover certain places. Okay, so, but overall it was pretty good. For an affordable foundation, medium coverage is a very good foundation. Like I said, I like a more full. This was full, but then I also noticed I was starting to get that same little thing with the little, it's hard to find, because I like a full coverage foundation. It's hard to find one that's full coverage. It doesn't break me out a little bit. So far, so good with Juvia's. But this has the most full. It's so highly concentrated, and it's the most full coverage foundation, and it stays on a really long time. So that one did kind of separate after a bit. So, but compared to other ones I used, and it didn't irritate my eyes in any way. It was very good. Like I say, B-. To me, a B- is still pretty good. It's just not A+. Okay, all right. Cleantopia. I talked about this before. Cleantopia is one of the most excellent. I just replaced it. Cleantopia mascara is one of my favorite mascaras. Whatever the combination of ingredients as a mascara, it is excellent for sensitive eyes. I would recommend it for contacts. It's excellent for, I have an astigmatism. I also have eye allergies. There's a lot of great mascaras out there, but for whatever reason, as soon as I open that wand and I smell that, if it smells like a Sharpie, and whatever that ingredient is that I'm allergic to, is whatever makes mascaras have that Sharpie smell. If you know what I'm talking about, like a magic marker, also smells like poppers. If you know what I'm talking about, um, that kind of chemical smell is hard. For one thing, it's not that good for you in the first place, and it's one of those things that, some women will build up a tolerance for wearing that type of mascara, but me, something changed in my mid to late 50s. I started to see it, and I have it with sparkly eyeshadow, same thing. My eyes will just start tearing up and won't stop until that makeup is off. And that's why a lot of older ladies will say, I can't do makeup anymore. But for me, I love makeup too much. I like looking attractive too much to give it up. Okay, it's the same thing with hair color. If I woke up tomorrow and had an allergy to hair color, I'd maybe just start wearing just wigs all the time, because I'm not ready to show gray. I'm not ready to look like the average 60 years old. That's just me. So I'm gonna fight it every step of the way. Um, so um, so the Cleantopia mascara is excellent and is one of the few where I'm able to get, a great lash look with, you know, and very little to no irritation. Okay, Tea Tree Scalp Care Anti-Thinning Tonic. Okay, this is one of the things that I have my husband using. This is part of the Tea Tree Scalp Care Paul Mitchell uh, products, hair product line. And I have him using several different things. The Nioxin line, the Dr. Groot line from Avon. I sometimes buy him the Tea Tree Scalp Care line. As well as, like I said, Nioxin, which is another professional brand. But you can also sometimes buy it at Costco. And Bosley. So at Sally's, for Sally Beauty Supply, I noticed they stopped. I can't always find Nioxin, or then they have a dupe brand that's like their version of Nioxin, but I can't always find it sometimes. Sometimes I just buy the Bosley. Bosley is that company that also does hair transplants. So they're excellent in making products that are going to help men that have thinning hair, because you need your own hair to grow around where the hair transplants are. If that makes any sense. Okay. So I have him using all these different products for the thinning, and this was one of the leave-in scalp conditioner, and it's excellent. It's excellent. He has more hair now. His hair has, I'd say, it's leveled off. It's tapered off, but it's maintenance, and if he stopped, his hair would be much thinner. So I have him on these, using these different products for to keep with the hair that he has and the hair that has filled in where he was thinning before. Okay, so one of the serums I use for my skin is the Anew Power Serum. Usually when you buy the full size, this is the Avon product, you buy the full size, it's a long tube, gold color, pump, but I got, at one point we were able to get these little samples, and you'll hear me talk about this probably from month to month, because one of these lasts about a month long, and I ordered a whole bunch of them that I've been using, and it was because it was just cheaper for me to buy a whole bunch of these than to buy one big tube. So, but they're excellent, and as far as skincare goes, it's still under $30 for a really great serum that you either can mix in with your moisturizer or put on before you put your moisturizer on, or day cream, night cream, whatever, and it's excellent. And since I've been using it, it really helps with a lot of the fine lines, the wrinkles, all that. It's one of my main beauty items. Okay, all right. Vanilla coconut. Okay, this was another Bath and Body Works product. This was, I think, from last summer. I don't even think that they came out with this one this year, but this was what was up in my husband's bathroom. This is the Fine Fragrance Body Mist. This was excellent scent. This one was, but they always have a vanilla. They always have a coconut, and sometimes they just name it different names, or the packaging may be different. And it's an excellent spray, and we use it upstairs as just a bathroom, help freshen, or help, if the air is stale in the bedroom or in the bath, you can spray it, and it helps just like, make the room smell better and beachy and fun. Okay, so there's another one similar like that. This is the Avon Senses, was the Cozy Vanilla and Coconut. And this one was one of my favorite lines that we had with Avon. I wish they'd bring it back because they're slowly phasing this line out. And it's kind of frustrating because a lot of things I like, they've been discontinuing. And they bring in some new things that I do like, but as far as these kind of products go, this one was one of my favorite things. So with that, and we still have our main coconut line in the Senses, which is just right now the bubble bath and the shower gel. We used to have a body spray, we used to have a hand lotion, body cream, all those things. We don't have that. We just have those two. And we had a hand wash. But so I've been refilling our hand wash things with that bubble bath. So that's another thing that I use that bubble bath for. So, okay, so the argan and castor oil, this is the conditioner. This is another thing that we have been discontinuing. I don't know why, because this has been an excellent shampoo and conditioner on my hair. I mix it with the Way to Grow, which is this one. I ran out of conditioner on this one. I've replaced everything. This one, we don't have the shampoo in anymore. We just carry the conditioner. But I mix these two together. This is an anti-frizz product, and for me, this is a great product for helping my hair grow longer, strength, and flexibility. So I always am using this line and mixing other things with it. And I wish they would keep this, and it's really, but they have brought some other things out, which I haven't tried yet. So my plan is to get some samples from Avon, some of the newer things, and try those out and see how they go. So, but yeah, there's that. And the Way to Grow line, I just stocked up on some new products for that. The new clinical collagen booster. These are these little ampules. They're skincare ampules. They have an intense collagen boosting serum inside. I would also mix them with my moisturizer and help boost the collagen. This is, besides Botox, people also get collagen injections to help with wrinkles. But imagine instead of injecting it, you're putting it on topically. So we do carry that. And so to me, it's the next best thing to injection or plastic surgery is using topical creams. And that's all I've done. When people are like, oh, you look so young, you look so young, you're so young. One, hair color, wearing my hair longer, not in an old lady style, and using serums and moisturizers and a lot of good skincare, as well as the fact that I still have oily skin, which helps keep your skin from, naturally really drying out. And having oily skin for so much of my life kept my face like a baby face, even like 19, 25, 35, 40, whatever age I was, people always thought I was 20 years younger. So when I was 45, people were like, oh, I thought you were 25. Oh, when I was 40, oh, I thought you were 30. Now that I'm 60, oh, I thought you were 40, whatever. But that was just nature. Also, I don't smoke. I don't drink much alcohol, and medications and coffee. I really think drinking a lot of coffee can dehydrate your skin, because I've seen that with, and a lot of, health problems, medications, stress, and the fact that I didn't have kids, so I didn't have years of my life of life. But I can say, the last 5 years of this dog, I was up half the night. I was up, lost a lot of sleep. And my husband would sleep through it and, help, and sometimes help me. Sometimes he'd wake up and help me, but a lot of times he didn't. And I had a lot of interrupted sleep because of the sleep patterns of this dog and the needs of this dog. So, we did a lot for her, It brought us a lot of joy, but we did a lot for her. So I'm lucky that level of stress does not show. That lack of sleep did not show, because I've noticed my friends who have kids, they aged sooner in different ways, at least in their face, more than I did or than I have. But anyway, it's just a fact. So, and like I said, not smoking. Not smoking is a huge part of it. Okay, so collagen booster, that was use those up. I have about 3 or 4 left that I just took out of the container, because I'm just like, why should I have this big container? I can just have 2 of these 3 little things here. And I may order them, or I may wait, because I have so many other skincare things. Okay, now last but not least I'll just talk about deodorant. Last time I talked about the ineffectiveness of some of those deodorants, Dollar Tree deodorant, and now it's not to say the name brands, okay? If they have a name brand, it's gonna be good, like an Arid or the Old Spice or Degree, if you can find the actual name brand. But if they have their house brands didn't really do squat for me. Stopped working within probably an hour to 2 hours, which is, you need your deodorant to work for longer than that, okay? But I will say, and I'll usually alternate between like a Degree or, what's the other one? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, let's just say for Degree, and then there's other name brand that I like, and then Suave. Of course, Suave is a little cheaper, but the Tropical Paradise Suave, even though they say 48 hour, no, I would say maybe 12 hours. But this has been an excellent deodorant, so I highly recommend it, and they have different scents. As far as grocery store, drugstore values go. Now, Avon does have deodorants. They have a stick. I prefer a stick deodorant. Avon has a stick, but it does not have aluminum, but price-wise it's a little higher. Of course, I can get it with my discount. The scent I was not that crazy about. The scent of this I really like. Avon's other deodorants are all the sticky roll-on kind with the ball and whatever. They are excellent, but they still carry aluminum, which many people are trying to get away from, especially if you have a history of breast cancer in your family. So I made the switch to do ones that are aluminum free. So anyway, check. But if you notice, if you go to shopping, if you're buying deodorant, the ones that are aluminum free are usually $3 to $4 more than those that aren't. Okay, so if you check for a brand like Suave, that's kind of in between. It's less expensive than your name brand, but not the cheapest game in town, because you're wanting one that's cruelty free and all those things. Check what they've got in stock, and check labels, because that makes a big difference. But anyway, thanks so much for your support. I appreciate it. I'm gonna, here I had made videos of the car before, but I'm gonna take the one down for the last one in the car, where the sound, I didn't know if I would have stopped it had I known the sound was that bad. I kind of want to always have good quality on here. But anyway, thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. But consider helping us out. Whether it's sharing the channel, sharing videos with your friends who like beauty and style. Maybe somebody might need a smile, or also consider, sending to my Venmo. Any little thing helps, because one person gives $5, and like, if you look at how many people I now have on here, even if half of my members or followers on here sent a 5 or 3 or 5, then I would, that'd be a significant difference in our life right now. When you're facing job loss, and you're facing a lot of bills and a lot of things, and I know other people are struggling too, but not, if you can't do it, that's fine. But those who are in a position, please consider, okay? So thanks so much always, and don't forget, you can also hit me up on my link tree, and for personal services and consultations, and that helps me out significantly because those are services that people are paying for. So whether it's beauty services, beauty consultations, whether it's motivation consultation, skincare, decor, all kinds of things, I do a lot virtually, and I enjoy helping people. That's my job. And so hit me up if you're looking for that too. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.